was afraid they're going to ask me to sing, but I promise not to. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm enormously thankful for this very, very kind honour. It only has a tiny, tiny edge of sadness, which is that you normally get it because they think you're going to die. May I say, I'm hugely honoured because I do think that the one way we can all be optimistic is just to look back at where we started. I mean, when I started, I was thought to be a bit peculiar. I remember one's colleagues used to say, oh, well, John's always on about that. You know, it's really awfully difficult, but we'll have to let him have that. And then gradually you became mainstream. That really did worry me. Once one was there. And that's the change that we've had. And it is a hugely important change. And I do believe that the way in which this evening has been introduced is exactly right. We need to be optimistic, not complacent. By no means complacent, but we do need to be optimistic to let people understand that the battle for sustainability and the battle against climate change is actually not a pessimistic thing at all. It's to create a better world. It'll be a cleaner, greener, kinder world, not just a world which has rid itself of the terrible threat that climate change presents. Now, I think this is hugely important because if we don't give people the optimism, they'll give up. I mean, in the period of the Puritans, praise God, bare bones lost because people wanted Christmas and mince pies. And he refused to give it to them. So they said, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die, because we're not going to put up with misery. And I still think there are too many people in the Green movement who are miserable. I don't want misery. I want people to have two words in their minds constantly. Optimism, because we can win, and apocalypse, because that's what happens if we don't win. And we need to keep those two together. And that's also what we need to do about net zero. I do find it difficult that people keep on forgetting that there are two words there. The zero, which is bringing the emissions down, and the net, which is enabling the world to be the healing planet that it always was. Because after all, what we're trying to recover is the balance of nature. And I learnt about that in the first of two great books written by women when I was an undergraduate. Rachel Carson's The Silent Spring, the recovery of the balance of nature. And neither of those two words is more important than the other. And the second book, which really changed my views and attitudes, was a book I read by accident when I became the candidate for the I Division of Suffolk. I went round each of the villages and found about the history, and I came to the village of Hawley. And it was there that Eve Bolfer, the founder of the organic movement in Britain, set up her farm. It was a totally hopeless thing. It all went wrong. She was eccentric in the extreme, but she really understood that simple concept, now much more universally recognized, which is that we should respect the soil, because the soil is what gives us life. Now, those two insights, of course, they fell on fertile ground, because I was brought up in a family where being a steward was crucially important. My parents taught me we have nothing of ourselves. Everything is given to us. And if it's given to you, you look after it. And that's the attitude that we have to have. We have to look after the world which we have. We've done all this work for centuries in astronomy. But we've never found a place yet which is the right balance to have life as we know it. Surely that should teach us that this is something precious, a balance that is needed to be protected. Surely we should learn that simple concept. And it is to remember that we live in this world which we haven't created, which has been given to us, and in which we all have a duty to protect and sustain. Sustainability is actually about restoring the balance of nature, respecting the soil, and recognizing that crucial understanding which comes in the encyclical Laudato Si. Climate change, said the Pope, is the symptom of what we have done to the world. The disease is the destruction of biodiversity. It's the pollution of the oceans. It's the destruction of the clean air. It's all those things. It's modern slavery. It's all that is happening in the Ukraine now. It's the damage we've done, which we have to repair by returning to that balance of nature which makes the difference. So can we all be optimistic? Let us all be excited that what we're doing is not miserable. It's actually an opportunity to make a better world. And in making that better world, we will make a safer, cleaner, greener, and kinder world, not just for our children and grandchildren, but for ourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen, huge congratulations to our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Lord Deben. Thanks to Luke. That is it for the moment. Your dinner will now be served.